Hey, it's Johar. Welcome back to my channel, to Multi-Fandom Fanatic. So I'm going to be talking about Lockwood and Co, which I finally watched and finished. I mean, I considered watching it before, but it wasn't really much on my radar. But then someone recommended it, and I asked what it was about, and I don't know, it sounded interesting. So I was like, hey, why not? I was bored, and I watched the first 4 episodes yesterday because I ended up starting it later than I meant to. I originally meant to start it earlier so I could just binge watch all 8 episodes, but life got in the way as usual. But I binge watched the first 4 episodes last night, the night before because it is night now. And binge watched the second four today, and I loved it. Um, I mean, it sounded intriguing, but I didn't know I was gonna love it this much. It was so good. I loved the three main characters, Lucy, Lockwood, and George. And one of my favorite things was the friendship between the three of them. So good. And they're just so chaotic. Like, seriously. Like, they're always running into danger and just, I mean, yeah, it's kind of the job, but at the same time, they take it like, they just one up it. Like, they take the danger to a whole other level. And Lucy gets bad at luck constantly. And George is the only rational one. And I'm like, without George, they'd both be dead. Let's be real. um, it is hot. But yeah, so and I ship Lucy and Lockwood, like they still had feelings for each other, the way they would look at each other, the way they just were with each other on the numerous occasions, like it was just so obvious. Um, and I'm very sad there's not gonna be season two. Like for one, I wanna, cause Lockwood was finally gonna show them what was in that locked room, and I wanna find out what. Plus, there's more ghosts I'm sure that needs to be hunted. Plus, I need Lucy and Lockwood to get together. Like they haven't even admitted they had feelings for each other. It so obvious, and they have hinted that they are going that way because somebody mentioned to Lockwood how different he is with Lucy, kind of indicating something, and someone kind of did something similar with Lucy, indicating her feelings for Lockwood, and they both denied it. But it's so obvious, apparently, to everyone. I think even George realizes it. Um, the ending was so good. Um, I loved all the fight scenes. The fight scenes were so good. Not just in the ending, like throughout the entire thing. Like I said, they're very chaotic. The end of the very first episode, they burned down a building and jumped off the balcony. So that was fun. But the ending fight, like they've been after this mirror that like everybody wants, and these two agencies, Lockwood Co and this other agency, had to work together despite basically hating each other. And George was kidnapped. He was kind of possessed, spoilers, to help the bad guy, but then he was kidnapped and then they had to save him. And there was just this really sweet moment when Lucy was going down there to save him because Lockwood was helping the others fight off the people that were trying to come at them. So Lucy had to go down there to save George and, get the mirror and stop all that. And he was saying how he's just the oddball, the third wheel, like he doesn't matter, and it broke my heart, and you could tell it broke Lucy's too. And then Lucy was willing to look into the mirror so George didn't have to, which could, get her to die. And she did this beautiful speech of like, you're not an oddball, you're not a third wheel, you're the best of us, and of course I have to do this because. And it was just the sweetest thing ever. Like I love their growth, especially since they didn't like each other much in the beginning, and oh my gosh, I just love their friendship and like the trio, the three of them together. Obviously, I love a good friendship, and I love that the friendship between the three of them was focused. Even though there definitely were hints for Lockwood and Lucy, that was more of a side thing, and it definitely is more of the three of them as a friendship and stuff than anything else. And I did a live tweeting thread, so you can check those out on my Twitter. Um, I don't know my Twitter handle. I have more than one Twitter, and this is like a multi-fandom Twitter sort of account. Actually, I did two live threads. One for the first 4 episodes, one for the second 4 episodes, and all. Since um, oh, it's just Johara Harper. Okay, that's my Twitter handle, Johara Harper. Um, and yeah, so It was just so good. I loved, like I said, I shipped Lucy and Lockwood. I love the friendship moments. Those were some of my favorite moments. The fighting scenes, so good. My favorite fight scene was probably the ones on in the last episode, obviously, because it was always the best. Um, everyone, Lucy and George fighting, the one down there, and then uh, Lockwood and everyone else fighting the people there. That was just so good, and um, just amazing, top notch. And I love how it was Lucy and George fighting in the end, because why George felt the way he felt was because he always felt like it was Lucy and Lockwood going off doing their thing, and then he was stuck doing the other thing. And I just love that it was Lucy and George doing the main battle. I mean, um, Lockwood did end up going down there to help them, and he did end up saving their life because a huge giant spear was about to attack them. Fun stuff. But and I I like knew something was going on. Like Pamela, I did not trust her. Like the moment she started getting close to George, just something in me told me to not trust her. That something was going on. Then when George started acting weird, I was like, did she poison him or something? And I was just like, I knew there was something wrong. Like she did something to George. She was up to no good, and I was right. um, I was surprised when I don't remember the jerky guy. I think his name is Kips, the head jerk guy on the other organization. Um, but he Lockwood, because they made this bet that whoever found the mirror first or whatever would win the bet, and then whoever didn't would have to resign or whatever from their job. And in the end, he ended up taking the high road, even though his team technically won because they're the ones that really saved the day. The others did help. So he was like, and I was surprised. Like he grew a lot after being Lucy. Like episode one, Lockwood would never. Let's be real. But episode eight, Lockwood has changed a lot thanks to Lucy. um, but yeah, so and there's just so many loose ends. Like not only the locked door, which I need to know what's in there, but there's also the fact that the guy that shot Lockwood, and the fact that he was working with that one girl. There's some names I still do not know. The girl that Lucy was talking to at the ball. Um, but yeah, like there's just some loose ends. Like if Nori would ever wake up, and there's still so many spears that need to be fought, and there's still the whole ghost in the jar thing that would talk to Lucy. Like he, after looking into the mirror, he was kind of just void. Like he wasn't even there anymore. But I don't know. They made a point about talking about that at the end, and I have a feeling that's not the last we're gonna see of him. If we would get season two, but I heard there's book series. I wish I knew that beforehand because I prefer to read the books first. Um, but of course, there's sometimes where I didn't know there were books, so of course I wasn't gonna read them first. Because the books are usually far superior. Let's be real. Um, I know the only times I like the adaptations more was Pretty Little Liars and The Vampire Diaries, but to be fair, I watched the shows before I knew they were a book, and then I loved the shows so much that when I read the books and they were nothing like the shows, I don't know, because I didn't like the books, so I don't know if I would have read the books first and if I just didn't like it and would end up giving the shows a chance. So I'm glad it turned out this way. But yeah, I'm hoping the Lockwood and Co books will be good. I'm excited to give them a try, which I plan to soon-ish. I don't know because there's a couple indie books I want to read first. Plus, I'm gonna take a kind of a break from reading a little bit to get a lot of writing done. So I have no idea when I'm gonna get to them, but I do want to get to them soon. I also want to finish the Percy Jackson book. So there's a lot of books on my TBR. So I'll get to them eventually, but I do want to read them because I want to find out what happened since Lockwood and Co. ended, and it was based off this. So I'm guessing whatever happened in the books would have happened in the show. So I guess I can still find out my answers. um, I still wish there was an adaptation to showcase it, but oh well. Um, yeah, it was just all good. The characters, the friendships, the relationships, the fighting, the battles, the ghosts, the storylines, the It was just all amazing. It kept me on the edge of my foot, mostly foot, and edge of my seat. I can't speak today. It is late. Edge of my seat most of the time, and it was just so good and so interesting, and I absolutely loved it. So I definitely recommend checking this out if you haven't, even if it was canceled after one season. And there's always the book, so you can still find out what happens, like I plan to do. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell me if you like Lockwood Co. If not, and I'll talk to you guys in the comments below. Until next time.